Hey, welcome back to Jake Brace Hot Takes. This is our lucky episode number 13. Me and the other half here were kind of scrolling through Reddit and seeing what kind of wild absurdities there are, and we found a couple that looks kind of cool to talk about, and some of them will be hopefully able to go in a bit more depth than usual. And the first one we found on this forum was, honey.
Uh, Guy wants me to stop talking to any male friends. So I, female 18, met this guy, male 19, at the gym, and we get along pretty well. The issue is, yesterday he said that I'm not allowed to have any male friends if I want to date him. But he can have female friends because he is a man and he just sees them as a sister. He says that men think different though and will always like me even if they say they are my friends. This makes zero sense to me since my male friends also are like brothers to me. He even asked me, why do you need those male friends when you have me? Like, WTF. I could also ask the same, why does he need female friends? Well, I told him it's because I can talk to them when I'm bored. Doesn't mean I'm attracted to them. And he said, well, you could do other things when you are bored. I just can't understand his logic, and I'm not sure if it's worth dating him.
Absolutely not. That's hypocritical.
So, my opinion is, first off, he's showing that he's very controlling. He's allowed to do things, but she is not. So, with him having female friends, it's okay for him to talk to other people that are of the opposite sex, but it's not okay if she can. So, he's already showing that he's going to control her for the rest of her life if she were to date him.
Yeah, and I kind of have the same opinion about that. I think it's a two-way street. If you're gonna tell someone that they can't have friends of the opposite sex, then that goes for you as well. That's just a personally, that's a two-way street. You've talked about that before because my opinions on it. I think you shouldn't really have any male friends, and I don't have any female friends. And I mean, it's not in that way. It's not a controlling thing. I think because a lot of times
it's more of a respect thing and communicating what your standards are for the relationship and sticking by it and communicating and also having me and my fiance have an open phone policy, so anytime his brother texts me, I show him the text and the messages that he sends because I was like, hey, your brother texted me. I thought it was weird.
Like this guy is halfway right on it, but whenever he can have the female friends is what makes it a controlling behavior. And yeah, it's really easy because I mean, if you have friends of the opposite sex, I mean, you're gonna have sex with them. That's the general thinking of it.
Well, not for women. Usually women, when they have male friends, it's like,
you'd be very surprised.
I understand that men and women do it, and a person is different depending on their morals and their values and whether they're going to do it or not. But honestly, when I talk to a dude, like when his brother texts me, I literally have no attraction to his brother, like zero. And it's just talking, and I show my fiance my tag when he messages me not. Or even when it's someone random that's a dude, I'm like, you're never going to believe who messaged me. For most real women and real men, when someone does that, they automatically show their partner or be like, what the fuck? You know? And he's very hypocritical on his statements because he's allowed to do things and she's not. And that could also lead into more things like, you shouldn't wear that because you don't have that body type. But in the same breath, he'll say, oh, my friend's wearing it and I like it.
Yeah, as strange as this guy just is not a good guy at all whatsoever. Just by reading this,
he's shady as fuck.
I don't know if it'd be completely shady, but I think he really needs to kind of reevaluate some of the way his beliefs and how he makes some of his statements. Because of that, it just doesn't make sense. And
well, for a woman's perspective, if I had a friend that told me about that, I'd be like, no, don't even date him. Like, he's gonna control you. And he's gonna be the one that is gonna gaslight the fuck out of you.
Yeah, it's definitely, I would say, definitely a red flag for sure. I mean,
a huge red flag. It ain't a little
that right there.
red flag.
If a woman told me that, and then I wouldn't date them just on that by itself.
Especially when they say, well, I can talk to male or female friends because I view them as sisters and brothers, but you're not allowed to have them. but yet the other person's like, I feel the same way, and he's already gaslighting her and making her feel guilty and making her second guess herself already. And if you feel that way at the beginning of talking to someone, don't date them ever. If they're making you question your sanity already, don't date them.
Yeah, no doubt. And the whole, well, you can do other things when you're bored, that by itself is an insidious statement. And the reason why is because it implies that he already doesn't trust her or wouldn't trust her because she's quote unquote bored because, oh, if you're bored, you're going to have sex.
I think he's saying that you could do other things when you're bored instead of talking to men. I don't think he's insinuating that she was going to have sex with them. I think he was just insinuating, well, you can read a book, you can watch TV, you can do a craft, you can clean your house, you can do this, you can do that. You can do other things and talk to other dudes. But in the same breath, she could tell him, well, you can do other things too instead of talk to other females, because if I can't talk to males, like, that's when you put your foot down and be like, it's not fair if you do it, and I'm not allowed to do it.
Yeah, that's why I think it definitely has to be a two-way street on that.
And then it also leads into speaking up for yourself and setting your boundaries. Which, she is young. She's only 18. So she still has a lot of growing to do as a woman. And same with him as a guy. He has a lot of evaluating his life decisions, especially if he wants a good woman. But she has a lot of growing to do, and she's young. She's probably not as self-confident as I was, like, now as I am now. When I was around her age, I wasn't confident at all, but she is stating in this statement, she's already like, WTF, what are you talking about? Like, she has the ability to speak up for herself. She just needs to apply it in real life. Like, instead of doing it on the internet, she needs to tell him exactly how she thinks, in my opinion. Vice versa. If it was a male who was talking to a female, he should voice his opinion and be like, no, we're not going to do that. And obviously this is not going to work out. You seem like a cool person, but we should just stay friends.
Yeah, definitely should. And, yeah, no, I think we kind of beat that over the head with a hammer a bit.
But continuing on it, like, because you can make a lot out of just this one paragraph instead of just directly facing on the friendship wise. Say she were to date this guy, it could lead into other controlling things, not just with outfits, but also with what she eats, her weight, her appearance. Well, my friends dyed their hair red, blue, pink, purple, whatever color, and she tries to mimic that because she wants to, make him happy, because he'll like a friend's photo, or he'll say, oh yeah, I like her hair, because his female friend will send a pic, and she'll try to dye her hair or change her outfit to whatever it was that he liked, and then he'll be like, oh, well, it don't really suit you, because I went through this with my ex, and I know the signs. This is not just about female and male friends. This is more. It will trickle into more.
And
that will slowly destroy her self-confidence. Because he's already making herself, like, second-guess herself. And be like, I don't understand, I don't get it. And already trying to make her feel guilty.
She should definitely just... We can be associated with this person, and I would never push it further than an association. Like, hey, I see you at the gym, hey, what's up? And leave it at that.
Yeah, like, I think he's cool to have as a friend at the gym, but that's it. That is literally it. I would not even talk to him again outside of it. Unfortunately, that's what I would do. Whether it be, like, in this case, it was a female to a male, but vice versa, if it was a male to a female, if you are second-guessing yourself, do not, I repeat, do not, and you see those red flags and you're like, WTF, do not date that person, because it will slowly trickle and continue, and you're always going to be in that constant cycle, and they'll love bomb you and make you feel like you're crazy, and that's not worth it, especially since she is so young. You have your whole life, it seems.
Yeah, same thing with the guy, though. The guy still is just as young now. He's,
I know 19? He's young, but he's already showing that he's a narcissist.
I'm going to go that far. He's got things he's got to learn, too.
That's a narcissistic statement.
No, it doesn't. I don't agree with that whatsoever. because they're still learning too. I mean, it's a half-formed opinion. It's a half-formed thought if you look at it.
But honestly, he's already letting her know, like, I can do these things and you can't. And
yeah, exactly. He's still
and
learning.
that's a very narcissistic thing.
No, I don't agree. Why are you screaming?
I'm not screaming. Even at 19, he's still showing that he may not be a full-blown narcissist, but that is a very narcissistic thing to do to anybody. Whether it be a female saying it or a male. That is a very narcissistic statement. I can do it, but you can't. And here's why. And then making her second guess herself, that's not a narcissistic thing to do.
That's her second guessing herself.
Doesn't mean he's a full-blown narcissist, I guess, but he is showing narcissistic signs.
Maybe some signs, but again, it's just like you said, though, with she's still learning, so is he. I mean, it's a half-formulated thought.
Yeah, and they're young. They're going to have friends that are of the opposite sex because they're going to go to college. They're going to start jobs.
That's why I just don't agree with what you said with that. It's just saying that she's not a narcissist with him being a narcissist.
No, it's not about them having friends of the opposite sex. It's about the actual saying, I can do it, but you can't. That is the narcissistic thing right there. It's not about having friends of the opposite sex. That's the narcissistic part. The narcissistic part is him saying, I can have female friends, but you're not allowed to have male friends because I view my friends as sisters, and it doesn't make sense why you have them, but I can do it.
That's why I've been saying it's a half-formulated thought is why it's not, why I don't think it's as far
not
as
a half-formulated thought. It's actually a full thought. He thought of it, and he knew it. He
just doesn't know any better then, or...
No,
what?
He doesn't care about what she feels.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave that alone.
It's self-centered. You can't do that to someone. Whether you're young or not, that's just common sense. They're old enough to know that they're gonna both have friends of the opposite sex.
Okay,
she's very understanding. He's being like, well, I can have female friends. That's the way, or it's the highway. And you can't have male friends. That's literally what he's saying. Because he says, well, you can do other things when you are bored to her. She never said that to him. She's thinking about saying it, like, well, you can do it too, but she never said that to him. Because she's not as mean as he is.
Well, I'm just glad that they're not dating, because it just wouldn't work out.
It would not work out. And I'm not saying that this guy is a bad guy. I'm just saying he's showing signs of becoming a narcissist in the future. By him saying, I can do this, but you can't. And it's okay if I do it, but you are not allowed. It's not saying he's a terrible person. It's just saying that he has a lot of reevaluating his life choices, or else he will die alone and be miserable for the rest of his life.
The dude's 19. There's still a lot to learn. I mean, the same thing with the woman. She's only 18. There's just still a lot to learn.
Yeah. My ex, he was young. He went to the military. He did all his things. He did it, but he's still the same person he was back then. I just didn't see it. He had growing to do. He chose not to. And it also depends on...
to say that.
It also depends on how they are raised, too. If you're raised by being shown that the man or the woman of the house is in charge and can belittle and argue and be unkind to the other person, then you choose whether you want to follow that same path or whether you want to grow as a person, be kind, because she seems like she's kind. She just has male friends. So what? Like, it doesn't seem like a big deal to me. But he is showing that I don't care about your feelings. I don't care what you say. Like, I'm going to have female friends, and that's that. And you're not allowed to have male friends, and that's how it's going to be, whether you like it or not.
Alright, well.
That's my interpretation of it.
Alright, I'm not going to disagree with you or whatnot. I was saying that he's definitely not as far down that route of being a narcissist as if...
This is just a little clip of what he said.
Yeah, it's just one thing.
One little conversation. We don't know what he's like in real life.
We jumped all the way down to the full-blown calling him a narcissist.
I
It
would.
just doesn't make sense.
He's showing signs of a narcissist.
One thing, Taz. We have one thing. One little clip does not put him on a full-scale narcissist.
One little clip, and you have a red flag.
Yeah, just because they have a red flag, does everyone with red flags are narcissists?
Okay, so
I have red flags. You have red flags.
Yeah, no, we all have red flags.
Okay, does that make us narcissists?
If I am. I don't give a fuck. But what I'm saying is, if you were a 19-year-old or an 18-year-old, and someone conversated this to you, would you date them? Would you think that's a narcissistic thing? Would you have red flags? I wouldn't think it would be
narcissist, but I would treat it as a red flag. But a red flag and narcissist aren't the same thing.
I would not.
I wouldn't date them on the fact that I don't like that behavior.
Coming from a female perspective, whether it's a male or a female saying this is very narcissistic of them. And the reason why I say that is because my ex showed little signs like this. Little clips, little sayings, little things that I knew were red flags, but I decided to ignore them and pursue that. And it turns out he was very abusive, verbally and physically, and he was a full-blown narcissist. Because you can give a person like this a chance because you think they need growing.
But she's not gonna. If she doesn't give them a chance, I mean, they're walking away. I mean, it's
no,
just as it
I know
is.
that. I'm just saying, if you were to, I know she will probably walk away. But if she chooses not to, then she's gonna have a full years of him being a narcissist, because it will trickle. This one little conversation will trickle, because he's used to getting his way. It seems like he's used to being submitted to, and oh, well, I can do this, so you should follow these rules. That's exactly what it is. Whether it be a male or female saying that. That's not fair to the other person at all. It's not fair to anybody at all.
Alright, well, like I said earlier, I think we pretty much beat this with a hammer. There's nothing else I don't think we can really pull out of this. Alright, so let's go to the next post we kind of found out was
I do think that my fiance says doesn't mean he's a full-blown narcissist is because my fiance is more kind and more willing to give people chances.
It's just one red flag. Just because it's one red flag doesn't mean a person's a piece of shit.
I have a feeling it's just because he is more kind than I am. I have seen how people are. I don't give people chances anymore. And he is the type of person that will give people chances. Me, I know exactly how a person is by just the little things they do. Whether it's one red flag or multiple red flags. I do not give you a chance until you prove to me that you are different than what I think you are. And he's the opposite. And I think that's why my perspective is so much more volatile than his. Is because I learned to block that shit. I learned to not just it's just one red flag. It'll be okay. I'll just ignore it. Maybe it's just he needs more growing to do or she needs more growing to do. It's more like you're showing to me that you're not a nice person at all. And you can do whatever you want, but you want to control the other person.
Alright, again, as I was trying to say, moving on. This next post came from the Ask Men Reddit. It goes, would you date a single mother? Why or why not? And it's kind of like it's an age-long debate, and my opinion is the only way I would pretty much ever date a single mother would be through if the mother's widowed and her husband died, and that's pretty much the only way I would ever date a single mother, just because dating a single mother already is a red flag by itself. And it's just how that is, and that's just how I think about it. Because who knows, they might have 1, 2, 3, 10 different kids to 10 different baby daddies. And it's nothing but drama from the get-go. And if you're that kind of person, then you know what? You're just dumb to do it. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, would you date let me reverse it for you. Would you date a single dad?
Well, majority of the time, dads that are single, the woman that they were with are usually on drugs or whatnot. But the majority of guys around here that are single fathers or have their kids on the weekend or whatever are usually low beat, deadbeat dads. And I would not date ever a deadbeat dad or a deadbeat individual, period. Would I date a single father? Yes. If he showed that he was doing great with his career or his job or whatever, he's trying to improve his life. He shows that he is not, fiddling around or, using me as a go-to, a scapegoat, but he still has his baby mama on the side or whatever, then that's fine. He has to prove to me, or whether it be a male or female, they have to prove that they are worth dating. That's with anybody, for me. I don't care if I date a single dad or a single mom. I wouldn't care. As long as you prove to me that you're a good person, that was your past, it's behind you. You still have to coordinate with that person because obviously you have a child together. But as long as you show to me that you're a good person, you're trying to thrive in your life, you're trying to be successful, you're not bullshitting, you're not lying, you're not manipulating, then I will date you. I don't care if you are a single dad or a single mom.
All right. Well, would you consider would you consider it like a red flag?
I would not, because I'm willing to give people a chance with kids, because I love children and I will listen to them, because everyone goes through different life experiences. That's the opposite of what we talked about previously. Like, that's just no. That would be a no. But with kids, with just being a single dad or a single mom, I'm willing to give you a chance as long as you're proving to me that you're not one of those crackhead, drug addicts, people who are in and out of jail. You got 7 different baby daddies or 7 different baby mamas. You have 20 different kids with 20 different people. Like, as long as it's not a case like that, then I'm willing to date you. And you're proving to me that you're trying to be different in your life. You realize you were young, you were stupid or whatever, you had a kid. Now, if you have like 5 or 6 kids and you tell me I have 5 or 6 kids, then that would be a red flag. I'd be like, okay, then my next question would be like, how many moms or dads do the kids have? That they say like, well, I have 3. Then that would be a red flag. For me as a man with a woman, that'd be a real red flag, because she's already used to getting pregnant with every guy in the world.
It's just a way to trap them down and then take their money.
Yeah.
Because the way the courts are set up, women are supposed to automatically win. You literally can be doing meth in front of the judge and you're still going to get custody.
And also, I know most of these women will use their kids as weapons. And to me, do not have a kid if you were ever going to use that kid as a weapon. The kid is not a weapon to be used. A kid is someone that you're supposed to love and take care of unconditionally. Because, believe it or not, ultimately, whether you want to date a single mom or you want to date a single dad, and why you wouldn't or why you would, it all depends on whether you're also able to, are you willing to accept that kid? If you do fall in love with that person, are you willing to accept that kid as your own? Are you willing to take the responsibility of having a kid? It goes more into depth than just, would you date a single mother or would you not? Because of, they have different baby daddies, baby mamas, whatever. It also comes down with your ethical. Are you ready to be a father or a father figure or a mother figure to these kids?
Yeah, no, I can.
Or kid.
Yeah, I can see that. And then also too, though, is like, but here's where a lot of the times comes in. I think would come into play is if they get mad at you or whatnot. I'm trying to find the right words for it, because you really got to try to find out, are they going to try to use you to play daddy? You know, you're playing this game of house, and that's a lot of times. Sometimes that's what it is. They're just going after your wallet to provide a lifestyle that they want.
But they'll give you more than red flag. They'll give you more than one red flag. If you feel like you're dating someone who's a single mother, single father, and you feel like they're using you, conversate that with them. Tell them how you feel.
Or just
communicate how you feel. Or if you don't feel like dating them and you feel like they are using you, then cut it off. That's all you have to do. It's based on the person, whether you want to communicate it to the other person and try to see where it goes, or whether you're just like, no, that's not for me. You as an individual have the mind to make your own decisions and to do whatever you want and what you're willing to put up with and what you're willing not to put up with. It all comes based off of what you want. Because we could tell you what we would do all day long. It's basically what you want to do. Because you are an individual. You have your own thoughts, your feelings, your experiences, everything. So you ultimately can decide whether you would date them or not. Me, I say yes as long as they're showing to me that they're good, they're kind, they're respectful, they're not having 7,000 baby daddies and baby mamas. I'm okay with it. And they're not using me.
Yeah, I just think that's about spot on. Alright, so the next one we have here, it's kind of a, hopefully maybe more of a fun one, but we'll see where it goes. What do you think is the worst thing that media, magazines, or films has led women to believe about men? And just gonna come right out of the gun on that one is the movies would make women believe in this fairy tale bullshit of, oh, the man will come through in the end, and it just doesn't work like that.
Not all men do come through in the end, and reality sucks. Yes, I love my Disney movies, and there's some princes in Disney movies that I do not like Aurora, for example. She's gallivanting through the woods, okay? She's singing her song. She's doing her biz, okay? Out in the woods. And then all of a sudden, this strange dude comes out of nowhere. He is the prince. We don't know that yet. But he's like, oh, we've met before. Just like you said, once upon a dream. Like, in real life, if I was gallivanting through the woods, I'm not saying I ever would, and I was singing, and some random dude came up to me and started saying, oh, gave me that bullshit, pickup line, I'd be like, get out of here. No, you're done. Like, the movies portray guys as, these sometimes these really nice, kind men, and in real life...
and as long as you're the nice guy and you wait, and she'll come around to you.
And in real life, that is not, no. Just don't do that as men. Don't come up to a woman in the woods and be like, oh, like you said, what's it? No, that's how you get punched.
Yeah, no, it's just, I think it really puts into an illusion of, if you're going to be this guy who's always going to be there, kind of like a background character for a little bit, but at the end, oh, I'm going to get the girl because I was always there for everything. I was always at her side. I never did anything wrong. I always respected her. I always did everything for her. I've always talked to her. But it doesn't, that's not how it works in real life.
Yeah, but also saying that you're a nice guy and you deserve things shows that you're not a nice guy.
A woman's not going to choose you over being a nice guy. You're going to be seen as a weak, pathetic piece of shit, and if she does date with you, she's settling for you because you have resources. Now,
also another thing that is a negative thing for media magazines that led women to believe about men is physicality. People don't realize, because I like to research behind movie films and stuff and media, they don't realize how much work these actors and actresses put into working out to become a fit person for their role. I
can tell you what right now, Sylvester Stallone, he, for one movie, he had to put on 50 pounds. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but 50 pounds on a muscular dude, that takes a while to get on there. And now, because he had to play a role of a bigger person, like a mall guard or something like that. Yeah. And, me and Rich were just talking about this one. But then now you got to drop that weight, too. If you want to go back to being at the weight you want to be, or if you got another movie you got to go into, you got to drop that weight to, say you got to lose now 70 pounds and be ripped like a old school Rocky Balboa. I mean, it's just astronomical.
But I'm saying physicality, they portray these men to be really good physically and whatnot. Even in media, I believe it's People Magazine, they do the top 50 most attractive men and women. They Photoshop the heck out of those photos, okay? That is not real. The women and the men, they have flaws. You look behind the scenes, they have flaws. They touch up everything on these actors and actresses and singers and whatever. They have one guy that was, the sexiest guy in the thing, and literally he is not that attractive to me, but they made him look really hot in the cover of the magazine. And in reality, whether it be a man or a female, these are Photoshop photos. This is not real. This is an illusion. They make people look so perfect. In reality, we all have flaws. We all have scars. We all have stretch marks. We all have, whether men believe it, because some men say that women are the only ones that have stretch marks. No, men have stretch marks too. My fiance has stretch marks. He pointed it out one day. I never noticed it because I don't care. I don't see flaws. I see a perfect person that I'm with that I love.
Yeah, and even on the mental side too, that a lot of these magazines don't have. I mean, if you look at like Cosmo, like they always have these lists like, oh, 7 things if your man's not doing this, you shouldn't be dating him, or he's not the man for you.
Or Cosmopolitan also does for women, things you can do in the bedroom that will make men love you more. And that's showing a negative aspect towards men too, because it's showing that to women that all men care about is sex.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It also leads into movies and films and stuff. Like, women are objects and men are there to fuck them. And it's not the case in real life. If you're with a good person, male or female, you communicate, you talk about intimacy. It's not about what you can do to spice things up in the bedroom. If you want to learn more about that, that's fine. You can learn about it. But, like, you have to have open communication even without, like, intimacy or non-intimacy related. You have to have open communication because men don't always care about sex.
And your opinions don't need to match either. That's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I'll say this for men, is a lot of men will make their opinions match to the woman because it's what the woman wants, which shows you that you're weak about it. Mm-hmm. And you're just trying to conform to what the woman wants. And at the end, when you get further down the road by just keep on conforming to the woman and doing what the woman wants, she's going to end up not respecting you, not liking you, and just going to continually treat you like garbage. And then you're just going to sit there and wonder why that's happening. And it's just you're conforming yourself to what you think she wants.
But male or female, you should never confide or manipulate your own self to match what the other person thinks or feels. You have to be yourself. To have a healthy relationship, you have to communicate. You have to talk about things. Like, if a woman says, I want you to sweep me off my feet and do this because I saw it in a movie, and the guy's like, that's not going to happen because that's not real life, and she's like, oh, yes it is because it's in the movie, then have a conversation about why and why not it's not. She might be frustrated because in her mind she believes it's real. And I want they do in book talk, with books, with men, they make men seem like these hero type guys, and they take charge, and they show their dominance in a gentle way, and, they tell a woman what to do, and in real life, if men were to do that, that would not be good, especially if it's just a random dude. Like, don't do what they do with book talk, please.
That is her TED Talk.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, if you love someone and, like, this one female said to her husband, hey, can you just lean against the door? And he did it because it was in her books, but she loves him. He didn't know what she wanted, but he did it anyway, but it made her happy. But it's not like he's real life in the books. He just did it because it made her happy. And he didn't know what he was doing, but it just that simple thing made her happy. But for good people, we know what's fake and what's wrong in media, magazines, and films. Like, common sense tells you that that's all fake, all bullshit. And real people are real people. They're not like in the movies. Movies are fictional for the majority of the time. And same with magazines. They Photoshop the heck out of people on those. And films, these people work out or they put on weight or whatever. They work so hard to get the body that they need for that role. They work their butts off. And in the real world, yeah, people do work out. But it's not real life. It's fictional. It's made up in your head. If you're going to go
in that direction, like, say, if you were going to go into bodybuilding, then that's a lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people don't understand is that some of these people are, like, extremely ripped, like, full-blown, like, the ones you do see on, like, the muscle magazines. Mm. Those are lifestyle choices. Like, they're waking up 3, 4 in the morning to work out, to get their protein in for the day, and they have their own whole schedule. It's wild. I've watched a few things on it.
Like, anime is another good example on how men and women should be. Like, in anime, women are really super skinny, and they have big gobos.
Yeah. The one thing about anime it's always aggravated me with anime is the disproportionate amount of bullshit.
Yeah, same with men. Like,
it's like this mix-a-lot on that itty-bitty ways of thing in your
face. Yeah, like, they have... I mean, not saying that I don't like anime, because anime is really cool, and for cosplayers, anime is, like, awesome, because you can do so many things with anime.
Yeah, I just think they should do better proportions.
Even with the men, like... There's this one character on a Demon Slayer, and he has 3 wives. I forget his name, but he's built like a tree, okay? In real life, there's no man that's built like a tree except for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or, like, wrestlers. You know, these people that work out religiously every day and, you know, drink protein and do steroids and whatnot. Those are the only people that exist that are like that. In real life, there is no person on this earth that looks like an anime character. Male or female. And if there is, kudos to you, because you cute, probably, but but these cosplayers who cosplay them, they also put a lot of money into looking like the character.
Yeah, and there's a lot of work that goes into it, and the makeup and everything else.
Yeah, and they have fake bodies, like suits that make you look like you have muscles, but they're not. And then this one guy that does cosplay some of these fit characters, because he usually goes to these Comic-Cons with the shirt off, because he does anime characters. He puts on so much makeup to make it look like he has real abs, but he doesn't. I mean, he has abs, but he's not like...
defined like they would do. Because, I mean, it's art. You can literally make it as defined as you want to.
Also with the hair in animes.
Oh, yes.
With men or women, like, men do not have...
You know how many times I've tried doing the Vegeta hair?
Yeah, exactly. Or, like, Piccolo. There's no guy like Piccolo. There's no green alien dudes walking around. You have to paint your body green if you want to be a green alien dude, because I really like Piccolo.
Alright, well...
Piccolo is daddy.
Alright, we're going to hit this one real quick. Just as more of a giggles. What part of your body are you most self-conscious about? I got 2 for me. My hair, my stomach. And the stomach I can do more about than the hair.
I used to be self-conscious about my body, but now that I'm dating someone who I'm in a healthy relationship with, I don't. I feel confident with my body now. I'm okay with my body. Yeah, I wish I was a little bit skinnier. Like, yesterday, we were eating at a diner. I know my fiance didn't notice her, but I did. She was super skinny, and she was beautiful, and she had a really tiny waist, and I was just like, I wish I was that skinny. She probably was a size 0. And I'm not a size 0. I'm like a 5. Which I know is not that big, but like, it made me feel self-conscious at that time, but then I realized I look beautiful. I'm happy with my body, and I'm okay with it. And I understand that men have a lot of issues with their body, and they're self-conscious, like, they're self-conscious about is, one, their hair, like my fiance said. For real women don't care if you have hair or not. Like, I already
got 2 receding hairlines. And you remember the one that hairstylist? She told me, you know, you had 2 receding hairlines. I looked at her, I was like, why are you telling me this? I never noticed in the 35 years I've been alive. Why are you telling me this?
And it didn't bother me because I don't care about that, but I just thought it was hilarious because it was funny. She's like, you got 2 receding hairlines, and she's just being kind.
Well, cover it up.
But it made you self-conscious in that time. But he said with his stomach, there's a lot of, like, that also leads into, like, how media and magazines make men feel, is because men think that they need to be super buff and super fit. And there's a lot of men and young boys,
I think you definitely should be fit, but you don't need to be super fit.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of men...
I was, not to interrupt you, but I was listening to Rogan the other day, and that was one of the things... I know, you don't care for Rogan. I will enjoy listening to him.
Except for Fear Factor.
But one of the things is that he's big into working out and whatnot, but one of his main points was about working out was what I just said. He's like, you don't need to work out insane. You don't need to work out hard. You just need to do just enough to get your heart rate up, and that's going to help keep you in shape.
Yeah, but like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of young men and like older men that are really tall and really skinny, and they struggle with self confidence, and they want to put on the weight, and they want to work out, and they want to build muscle, and they feel like women are not going to love them for them. But women and men are particular on what they like. Like, for my fiance, I like that he's a little bit thicker. I like that he has hair on his chest. I like the way he looks. To me, that's attractive. Now, any woman or man will love you no matter what you look like, how fit you are, how skinny you are. You should not have to change your physical appearance for anybody. And I understand being self-conscious about it, but just know that you are perfect the way you are. And it slowly takes a while to learn your self-confidence. But once you find it, you're going to be happy with the way you look.
Yeah, and like for me, like the one thing I would say definitely about like I don't even want to say even fit to like get big or anything. It's really so I don't run out of. It's so I don't run out of breath getting up the stairs.
Yeah, well, also,
and then like when we have kids is what I'm going. If I'm actually in shape, I can help me keep up with them because they're gonna be running around like a bat out of hell because they're gonna have your metabolism, my metabolism, and if they're a boy, most likely 99% chance of ADHD.
They're gonna be swinging off the ceiling.
Yeah, they're gonna be like little flying monkeys is what they're gonna be, and that's part of the reason why I want to get in shape is because I want to try and get ready for children. When we get down there and get for children, and then I can actually lift them all day and throw them against a trampoline and watch them bounce off onto the ground like little sponges.
Okay. Well, also it goes the opposite way, like too, with bigger men who say 250 plus. They want to change to be more fit. Now, it's okay if you want to change to be more fit because you want to be more fit and you want to do it, but don't change it because you're like, oh, well, I saw this magazine and all these guys look freaking ripped and I want to be like that. Like, if you want to be like that, do it for yourself. Don't do it because you want to get the girl or you want to do this, because no matter what you do appearance-wise, whether it be for a male or female, doesn't mean that they're going to love you or like you even after you change.
Yeah, and just moving around, though, too, is just will make you feel better about yourself. Not to keep preaching on the exercise thing, but just moving around generally and doing things will just make you feel better. Exercise
is great, and it helps you out, even if you just walk. But just do it for yourself. And if you are okay with the way you look and you're happy with the way you look and you're okay with that, then that should be okay for you. Because the right person will come along and love you no matter what. Because if you have self-confidence, trust me, people will flock to you. Because the moment I gain my self-confidence with this relationship that I am with my fiance, Zach, I'm telling you, before I thought it was bad, like these men like flock like chickens.
I know.
As soon as he rounds the corner, I'm telling you, guys line up. They're like, oh, hi, you look good. I'm like, okay, thank you. Like, for me, I'm in my own little world. I'm like, buzz off. But it's funny because it happened distinctly in New Orleans. My fiance rounded the corner. I had self-confidence. I was fine. I was minding my own business, And this guy's like, hey, you looking good. And he got real close. Yes, it made me uncomfy because I was like, hurry up, Zach. Like, come on.
I was only getting the car.
And he just rounded the corner to get the car because it was raining. And it's funny because when you find your self-confidence and you stop being self-conscious about whatever little detail is about your body, you are going to literally get people lined up down the street because they're going to see that confidence and be like, I want to talk to him.
Yeah,
I want to talk to her.
Confidence is attractive.
Confidence is key. And for women,
you don't even need to speak perfectly either. I mean, you can look at me when I speak sometimes. I mean, I'm mostly confident. I'm like, and I still stutter over my words when I talk to you.
And in the movie Eat, Pray, Love, this is for men or women, it brought up a good point. When you are intimate with a person, and you think about all the times you were intimate with a person and you took off all your clothes, did they ever tell you to leave the room or, ugh, you are disgusting, I don't want to have sex with you at all? And if the answer is no, and you still had intimacy with that person and they didn't say anything about your body, then you should be okay, because you will find the right person. Your body is okay, no matter what.
Yes, but keep the socks on so your feet stay warm. There's a long joke between me and Rich about it. It's just how it is. But yeah, I think we should go and get the rest of our day started and whatnot. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us on the next one, and we'll see what we have to talk about. Have a good day.